All right, sorry. I'm back, guys. U-rounder here. I just went and went ahead, changed over the tape. We had a like an aces hand of some sort. Ace king versus ace king hand that just went down. Nothing, no flushes. So that's good. And then just getting caught up on my other hands. Value betting here with some tens. That went fine. Coming off a high from just a what I think is just an epic fold, and not that it's like, honestly, like it probably isn't even that hard a fold to make, but for me it was, right? Like for me, I just didn't make those folds before, right? It's just not who I was. I wasn't the guy that was folding sets, regardless of the evidence that suggested it would be correct. Yeah, I mean, there's no real evidence to suggest that this guy's 4-betting light and we're out of position. Good hand. I mean, like, maybe that's a call in position. All right, let's just check our tables, kind of check in here. I was thinking about starting to vocalize my thought process on if he raises this flop. Again, I has position, so he's just got so many draws, and some of them probably have a lot of equity. So I'm wondering, like, can we get it in on the flop? I think we just want to play position, right? Like, we are, the best player at the table, so we want to play the most information-laden strategy and highest EV strategy, which is probably calling, and then hitting a full house would be the highest EV way to handle this. So we got to go by bet size here, right? So he's betting 540 into 9. I mean, we've got 2 pair. Straights got there. King Jack got there. He raised the flop. I mean, I don't want to turn into a folding machine, but, right, this is a code red turn, followed up by a code red river, followed up by, I mean, this guy's pretty aggressive, but let's just go with it, right? Like, we're just folding rivers. That's what we do now. We just fold rivers. We don't deal with it. So that's another one we can kind of copy over. He was not kind enough to show us the hand like the last guy was, but and he's pretty darn aggressive, but the other guy was pretty darn aggressive too. So again, let's just copy this one over and just check to make sure these are good hands to just verify what is happening here. How did we get here? Oh, multi-way. Okay, this is all fine, I think. Multi-way. Bet. This is blind versus blind, obviously, so we should bet. Notes. Actually, I think we have the best handle out here. That one I'm not feeling quite as warm and fuzzy about. I'm also not feeling quite as warm and fuzzy about the way I played it, like not 3-betting the flop. Same time, however, like, there's no reason to take, like, he could have had sets there, right? Like sets are in his range, and those beat us. So like, even if he's betting kind of thin, there's a lot of hands that beat us. The only thing that we don't beat is top two, and I'm not saying he never bets 2-pair there. I'm not saying he never bluffs, but I think with the run, again, like the key here is that given the run out, the number of bluffs he can even have, even as an aggressive player, he just can't physically get there with as many bluffs as if the turn and river were blanks, or ran out better. Were not as, like, as I kind of keep saying, code red as they were. So again, just given the run out, it takes a lot of bluffs out of his range. And then given the fact that people are not as likely to bluff, also that sizing is not like a super bluffy sizing. I mean, I'm not sure that it's necessarily a super nutted sizing either, but obviously, like, were we protected? Do people think we're folding 2-pair? Like, one, we had 2-pair, so yeah, we have to be protected by 2-pair if we have 2-pair. And then, does this guy like trying to take me off 2-pair? Probably not. So all those things have to kind of be considered. And then, so I'm okay with it. I'm not saying that he didn't bluff. I'm not saying that he didn't bet worse. I'm saying that on a spectrum, and like with the confidence I have, I can't be confident enough that he is playing in such a way that he gets there and makes that play with worse hands and bluffs often enough. And I am saying that what I do know is that given the run out, he has less bluffs than he otherwise might on other runouts. There we go. I think that's a good thought process right there. That, I think, gets me there. I think that gets me to a fold. Unless there's some piece of data that I'm missing, which certainly possible, right? Like that's not ruling that out. All right. So I don't know if this guy folds 3-bets, but I'm kind of, just based on the stats so far, I'm suspecting not. So I sized that up just a big blind, just a little cheat, a little hair higher than normal. Go ahead and make our normal bet here. He calls. We do get the heart on the turn. I'm kind of partial to bet folding here as opposed to check calling. Like, I don't think check folding is good because it seems bad. Also, we don't have, this is probably 0 of 1. Yeah. Assuming he doesn't have like ace jack of hearts here, we still have outs, so we're getting pretty good odds to hit like the hearts. That's interesting. I don't think I can fold now. Ew. I think he's got, right? Like, it's hard. You should never be bluffing for like 1/3. I don't know. I kind of feel like I have to default to like stupid theoretical stuff here. I'm gonna be wrong a lot, but I only have to be right, what, like 1 in 5? I don't know. It seems hard. It seems hard not to be right 1 in 5. Like, I just kind of, have to go back to theory and just kind of click call there, because none of that really makes any sense. Just couldn't hate his play any more than I hate it. Like, just despise everything that guy just did. As far as, I mean, I love it for my results, but like, I don't see. It doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm not here. I'm not here to berate other people's play. I'm just here to improve my own and try and get better, win hands. I think we need to get off this table. This table is just, a lack of a better term, kind of dog shit. Man, that one was like, that was one of those ones where if I lost it, I was not going to be, it was going to be hard for me to just be like, whatever, it was the right play if I lost it. Like this one, I'll be able to say that, like, whatever. Like, for all I know, he's doing that with like any 2 cards. Although, I don't know, it doesn't usually end up being any 2 cards. It could be a 3 though. I mean, I've seen it be a 3. But it's also a small pot, so it's just not as relevant. But yeah, I would have been like, I don't think I necessarily would have thought it was a bad play with the queens, but I would have been a little irritated with how it went down. Although, again, given everything that happened, apparently I played it perfectly. This is a bet. This is the guy I made the big fold against, but it wasn't really a significant hand. He just sort of called in position, then bet. Kind of seems like a good player. I don't know if I really want to continue playing with this guy on my left. I feel like he's just gonna bet if I check and like check down with all his pairs and then bet with all his bluffs and like put me in a difficult spot. So that's why I'm getting off this table. Well, that's not the main reason. The main reason is because I think the table sucks, but like I'm super capped here, right? I mean, it's kind of tempting to bluff, but I don't. Yeah, I don't. He went check. So he called, then he went check. Then I bet and he called, and now I checked and he's betting. It looks kind of like a stab. I don't know. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, he's got the nuts. Okay, well, that was dumb. That was dumb. I like his sizing, though. So yeah, not really doing anything fishy, just kind of playing solid and aggressive and, not somebody I want on my left. Meant sizing, not sazing. All right, we'll see what other hands are available. Six, 8, 2. This is going to be a pretty solid check raise spot. I'm not sure what's going on here. 3 something should be good. 325 looks nice. Folding there, getting off this table. He was replying to something about you're not calling half pot there, which he's absolutely right about. Amazing check raise. Almost like feels like a good play to just kind of swallow my pride and be like, I don't really want a thinking regular to my left, right? Like I don't need to deal with that. It's 25 no limit. Really good play with the queens there for. Why, thank you. Here I am getting compliments at the table instead of sitting in on my new one. Might need to take a break. I feel like I'm like on winner's tilt right now. I kind of have to be, right? I've been just running really good and winning. This is blind versus blind. Table Tamer is not putting my bet sizes in. Maybe take a walk outside, get some fresh air. Go grab an energy drink. It's 11:21, so I got another like 2-3 hours of grinding. See how we're doing on hands. 588. So it's weird. I see 634 here, but 588 there. I'm not sure. But yeah, 588. Let's see, bet. So almost 600 and 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so if we go till 2 a.m., we should be good, even if we take like a little bit of a break. Maybe just enough to go on the store. Actually, maybe just refill some water. Put on some coffee. It's 2.5 hours. I can probably just grind it out. Okay. And Queen 10 off is a little light from that position. So an MP. I don't think I want to, like, I honestly don't know if my hand is strong enough to raise in a multi-way pot. I mean, I see people do dumb stuff in multi-way pots, but it doesn't change the fact that there's a lot of hands. And a 92-26 has, 3-5 in his range. This guy's tight, so ace. I mean, he probably has just like a decent ace. He could also have sets. I don't know, like, bet, call, tight guy raising, straight sets, better 2-pair, and like draws, like tricky river decisions. Not that I'm folding because of tricky river decisions, but like even the hands I beat probably have a lot of equity against me at this point. I feel like I'm playing like a nit, but the general rule is that in multi-way pots we're kind of playing nitty, and this was a 4-way pot. So hopefully we see a showdown. We'll get some confirmation that we were right. If not, we'll assume we were right, and if we were wrong, we will assume that we still played it the best way possible until proven otherwise. But I'll bet this is a pretty strong hand. If he checks, I'll bet we had the best hand, but if he bets, I'm thinking that we were pretty crushed by his set of 4s. Or ace king or ace 4. I don't know. What's going on here? Set of 4s. Jesus. This game's easy. This game is getting easier. That's another fold I just would never make, and I saved myself. What was the turn bet? And I want to see what that other guy had too. King 2. So he had King 2. I mean, I know he was a fish, right? But this guy was not a fish. So that's why I think I was able to get away pretty nicely there. We have position here with an open-ended straight draw. And ooh, that's a weird bet. Like after he bet a normal size on the flop. have position, so I'm like, I don't really want to raise and then get re-raised off my equity. Because if I get re-raised, like then I have to contemplate whether or not he's doing it with like boats and stuff like that. Now I have no. All right, like the read here is simply that bet is usually like a weak merged bet, but like I still like, I don't know. I wonder how big I have to bet there. Like, whatever. The read's relatively correct. I guess here we go. We'll just make a little note. And he's getting the green label. And the note I put there was just that he bet 1BB on turn and river with 2 pair on connected board. And we can fold the queen 9. I feel like if I bet, I'm going to bet large. If he bets, he might bet a quarter. So I might actually see the turn a lot cheaper if I just check to him. I mean, that's fine. That's about the sizing I would have used. This should be fine. Oh, he snaps. Oh my gosh. Fuck. Buy chips, buy chips. Three-handed pot. That play I'm fine with. Like, as long as I still do that, like with value hands occasionally, the general idea is that like when you're out of a position and you have a pretty high equity draw, and like in that spot, I mean, obviously I don't know I'm up against 2 pair, so that's not like the first thing my mind went to wasn't like, oh, this guy has 2 pair. The first thing that my mind went to is like, oh, this guy has like a lot of hands, and some of them probably have to fold to an overbet jam here, and if they don't, I have a lot of equity. So yeah, I don't know. I actually like, I don't think that hand is all that interesting. I think it's relatively standard. I'm out of position, so by raising all in, I neutralize the positional disadvantage and maximize fold equity by just jamming. It's not like I can bet fold there, right? That's the other rule we go back to is like, can you bet fold? Like, can you raise fold? And then I'm calling out of position, and then I have to like, it's hard to get folds on the river after I call out of position. So here, I mean, one, I look like I'm tilted probably, so I feel like I might get calls lighter, especially from this guy, but that's fine. So yeah, I really don't think that hand's a big deal. Raise 100% in the small blind. And this is a bet. And I think King Queen is a check typically, but if we're playing our 100% strategy, it's it's going to be a bet. This I think would be. I'm starting to think about this stuff because I'm starting to sort of like have time to think about. I mean, when I first started playing, it was like there was so much going on and so much information I was trying to keep track of that I wasn't even really like capable of making those distinctions. But now I'm starting to, have opportunities to see some other spots and some other, places where like, I might want to consider like, checking range. Called by Jack 7 of spades there. This has to be a donk bet, right? I raised, the button's donking. It's queen 5-7. Queen 5-7 has to be pretty close to a raise 100%. Now it'd normally be like a check raise, but again, against the donk, I think it's also going to be a raise 100% spot. That's happened like 3 or 4 times where I'm like, oh, this is a check raise spot, but like it's somebody donking, which I honestly think makes it even more. I don't have any evidence, like I don't have mass database information on it, but I would guess, right? Like my intuitive guess would be that a donk is even more incentivized to raise on the same flops that a check raise would be incentivized by. So this is into 2 players. This guy called and now he's leading. Again, this is a donk. I don't want to check raise multi-way, but again, this guy plays 93% of hands, so like we have to put up some kind of defense. And I'm just going to check down multi-way. We're going to play tight, but against this guy, he's just got so many hands. He has so many hands. If I had ace high, I would just call. With king high, I think a raise is better. And I think this is way outside of optimal regardless, but I mean, even though it's multi-way, like, right, it's like super close, I think, but to kind of like really lean on, oh, whoa, why would I sit out? Auto post. I don't know what happened here. To really lean on somebody that's exploitable is to take spots that are outside of, outside of optimal. And I mean, if ever there was a guy, it's player 4. That's annoying. Again, multi-way, I mean, if we just check range. It's a check call, obviously, but I don't really see anything to do here but check call. I think we can probably check call the turn, and then depending on the river. This is getting fairly ugly because it was multi-way. He's betting really large, and the queen's a pretty bad card. Is he doing this with ace jack? Is he doing it with queen jack? I mean, no. right? Like, is he valuable? Oh, fuck me. Of course. Of course the jack would come in, giving us the nuts regardless. I mean, I did think about that entered into my brain, the fact that we did have a gut shot in addition to our hand. So yeah, make of that what you will. The only other data point that I had there was one that I didn't feel like vocalizing or waiting, which is that this guy's aggression frequency was like 3 of 3 at the time. Now it's 5 of 5. That's significant. But I don't think it's enough to, again, I mean, it was multi-way. And he bet twice into, I guess it was just into 2 people the first time and then just into me the second time after I checked twice. So my range was fairly capped. I mean, I think it could go either way. I'd say that's like the most questionable hand I have so far. This session, actually. It's really questionable. But in general, right, like I've said a couple times now, that in general, I am trying to err on the tight side on, turns and rivers where players are showing strength. So that's sort of my default at this time. Oop. Okay. So that's a thing. I guess real quick thought process is he can do this with a 9. He can do this with somehow a pair of, like, my thought was like, he can do this with a 9. He could also somehow have a pair of 10s here. And on the turn, when I call, it makes it much harder for him to stack off with those 2 hands. When he has a set, when he has ace 6, when he has those hands, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, I'm not folding most of the time, like, to normal run out. So that kind of leaves me with, like, I might as well get it in here when I think he'll call off the lightest. And so I did. I jammed. And he called it off with ace 9, which I don't know. Not sure exactly how I would play that in his shoes. Something tells me that there was some pre-flop stuff that would not have taken place if I were in the hand. Probably makes it slightly easier. Let's raise this. Check range. We're out of position here, so I don't think we check. I think we would check back if we were in position. Shit. Oh, fuck. Did he just quad up on me? Nah. I was like, oh my god, did he just say quads on me? Nah, just twos. just pocket twos. No worries. Wish I got hands handed to me. I mean, you do get hands. You just... That was mean. I tried to make it like dry enough that like he could actually interpret it as, you know, I never try to like be like, oh, you suck, it off the tables. I usually just try to tell people like, oh man, bad luck. That one was a little tricky to do that with. Okay, so this table looks like it sucks now. So let's raise that. Sit out next big blind. Fold. Let's do a little table evaluation. Sort of take a deep breath because there's just been a lot of action and a lot of tables. It's just been kind of crazy. 6, 7, 9, not a flop that we would ever be check raising, even though it is rainbow. Maybe if we had like a little bit more equity, I guess I could maybe find a check raise somehow, but in general, it's just not a board we're check raising. Gut shot plus a pair, I think, is not something we want to be folding in position. And we hit a boat. So if he has a straight, he now has not the best hand, but I don't want to try to get him off a 9. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 6, 7, 8, 9. He was missing a card. Didn't quite get there. All right, what's going on here? We've got this guy, the 4124. Let's pull up our tables. In position, we played a hand with this guy, this gentleman right here, a while back. I thought maybe not. If there was ever a top pair to check, I'm not. That might have been it. Okay, our tables, players per flop. Granada is 33%. That's our worst one, as far as I can tell right now. The other ones look really good. La Purisma, it says it's 38%. I'm not. I think somebody left. I think somebody had to have left recently. This doesn't look that good to me. Six, 7 offsuit to a full pot raise on the button. I don't think we have to defend. I'm not sure. I honestly haven't looked at ranges that are facing a pot size bet from the button. So that's an interesting. I used to make pot size bets from the button. It's an interesting technique, but I'm guessing that it's not. I can kind of defend pretty naturally against a pot size bet. 6-7 offsuit probably makes it in there, to be honest. But I'm having a little. Trying to take just a little moment of. Take a deep breath. Whoa! What happened here? How did I? What? I'm not sure how this happened. I'm like posting. That's the new table I just sat down on. Why am I posting? Random. Pretty happy about this 63.5 to my right. Pretty easy squeeze here with king, ace, king. So I don't expect to get called by worse, but it's dry enough that so what do let me think here. If I'm just folding out worse when I jam, not getting called, I can't bet full. I guess I just check back. This is like, I guess the one check back. I don't see any functionality in jamming because I think I have the best hand pretty often. Do I call this jam? I guess not. Ew, what is it? I'm getting almost 4-1 with ace high. I don't think I can fold. Might be wrong. Maybe a jam on the flop is right. This hand I'm really uncomfortable with as well. My question is fairly specific. Is I don't know what the functionality. Like, do I get any worse hands to call? Do I get any better hands to fold? And then, I mean, I have position, so I'm like getting rid of my positional advantage as well. So that's actually, I would say this ranks as like one of the most interesting hands of the session as well. So let's grab a little snapshot of this guy. So 42 minutes in. I do sometimes make smug remarks like that. Since last time that guy said good game to me. Oh, did he mean good hand? I can't tell. Maybe he meant good hand, but he put GG. Maybe he didn't even know that he typed something relatively offensive. What is going on here with the sevens? I guess I'm not really sure. Oops, there it is. Third nuts. It was respect. See, had I known. Maybe a case of perhaps a case of like not wanting to deal with a hard river on that hand. Where I shove the sevens. Like there's a lot of really ugly rivers that can come, and if I bet even like half pot and then call and then get shoved on one of those ugly rivers, it puts me in a spot where I'm not sure that I have the confidence to make the right play. Although I probably do, right? I mean, I can probably look at it and be like, oh, it's three-handed. One guy's already all in. And depending on, the run out, I can probably just make the better play. So probably not a situation where I should be doing that. And then this is not a good run out. What is 4 doing? 4 is just saying good game over and over again. I feel like I need to take a break. We're at 48 minutes on this video, and I'm feeling pretty exhausted. There's been a lot of kind of interesting hands. Let me grab that sevens hand because that's worth pulling. I didn't want to be pulling every other hand, and I don't think I have been. If you look, I mean, they're mostly hour-long videos, and I've pulled 2. Oh, on the other ones, I had pulled 2 hands. This one, I've got kind of a bunch. 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th hand in an hour that I'm putting in here. So this is 45 minutes in. Or 45-ish minutes in. Yeah, part 3 had 1, 2, 3, and part 1 had 2. This guy's really 3-betting 19% of the time. Still think queen 9 offsuit's a little light. If it was suited, it'd be a call. Here I've got a gut shot, and this guy is pretty weak. Got a gut shot on 2 overs, and I could have the best hand with an ace. This guy. It's 95% VPIP guy. I wonder if he calls a ship here. Only reason I like kind of think that is I have the 8-10 blocker, which is not significant, but I have the ace blocker, which kind of is significant. And a pretty decent image, but I guess I'm kind of pussying out on this one because I don't really have a reason to think that it wouldn't be a good bluff. And he had Jack 6 offsuit. It's like bottom pair, so yeah, I mean he probably finds the fold there. Yeah, he probably finds the fold there, and it might have been a pretty good little play. This guy's betting pot. All we really have is a pair of kings. The straight beats us. I'm trying to fold here. I don't know if I want to highlight that one. I'm like, okay. It's like, I can't tell if that like bothers me a little bit or if I genuinely, like I laugh every time somebody does it as if like, ha ha ha, like I'm so much better than that. Like that's, look at these foolish people trying to get under my skin. But like the fact that I react to it a little bit makes me wonder if I don't like it, if it like gets to me in some way, right? Like, let's be totally honest about it. Like, let's be totally honest with ourselves. If I really didn't care at all, I'd probably react less. But like every time someone does it, I kind of chuckle a little bit. Like it's a very high and mighty, very like high and mighty, I'm better than you chuckle. But it makes me wonder if there's not something more there. For the time being, we'll just assume that I really don't care about it, and I just think it's funny that people want to like show off half of what might, but probably isn't, be a bluff, right? Like, you know. Yeah, 3-4 was probably a call there. Damn it. All right. I gotta take like a 5-minute break. I'm gonna like go outside and run to the store if it's not pouring rain out. I'll get back on some good tables. I don't think there's anything amazing going on here. This is a pretty good spot, the 62-14, who 0-1, really? I guess I've only been here 25 hands, and I'm 3-betting 29%, so I guess I'm just not 3-betting him that much because he's not raising that much. So I'm like, whoa. I wonder like if I looked at a raise limper stat, what that would be. That might be pretty aggressive. All right, we're at 54 minutes, so it is time to break the film. There were a bunch of hands in that one. Damn it. Okay, well, just so I don't forget, because I don't know if it would come up in like a filter. I am gonna grab that little hand that I was like on the fence about bluffing. And I have no idea when it was. I'm guessing it was between, I suppose it had to be in between. This seems like a better 3-bet than a call, the king queen. I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of like 48 to 50 minutes. Okay. this guy overcalled. I think I want to like, do I ship here? Or maybe ship and isolate. Make it look like, you know, make him think that Colin would like jacks or queen. Oh, that doesn't matter then. Fucking great plan. Diamond one time. Oh! Oh! One time. One time. My God. What happened? I looked away. I didn't see what happened. Did the ball go in? I saw it go up, but I didn't see if it went down. Guys can name that movie. That's Happy Gilmore. Oh man, bad news is my EV line is gonna really suffer from that. But I mean, obviously that's a cooler / suck out, whatever way you dice it. I think I covered why I like the jam a little bit towards the very end, because I think that when you jam, people tend to look and say like, oh, that's, you know, more often like ace king, whereas like people try to play a little bit more crafty with aces sometimes, and that can get a call from, you know, somebody who's like, well, it's three-handed and I've got jacks, so I'll call. So I'm fine with the bet. Obviously, like getting all in with kings pre-flop is not going to be minus EV. All right, we are sitting out next blind on all these tables. Kind of sad. I've got some nice stacks going on a few of these, but that's all right. We'll come back in 15 minutes or so with fresh stacks and probably on a few fresh tables, and that's not a bad thing. It'll mean we have to rebuy a little bit more, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. Having a much more fun session than the last one. I think the last one I recorded went fine. And then I played last night, but I didn't record. Maybe I recorded one video and then my internet went out. The Comcast had an internet outage. Like I ended up calling them up, and their automatic stuff said that there was a internet outage in my area. So that cut off my video last night early. But that session went okay. So, I mean, that should already be out by now, by the time you're watching this. But yeah, last couple sessions have been going a lot better than when I first moved to 25 no limit. $722 hands. So that's easy. 250 hands shouldn't be more than, you know, an hour and a half, if that. And if I'm still feeling good, like if I'm gonna walk to the store, so that'll be going outside and get some nice cold, fresh air, and then I'm gonna pick up an energy drink probably while I'm there. And do I call for the chop here? Thing is like he can have a fair number of like missed draws, right? I don't know. I played this so capped. Like, I'm not saying that I'm gonna win a lot, but like I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just it's a little bit poor thinking. But I feel like I did play it really, really weak. So I mean, he can probably, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure if like he thinks that bet size is getting me off of ace high. Like I think that might be like the bet size that's too designed to induce a call from an ace. And even if it's not, it's still in the will. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun. I thought there were a lot of interesting hands. If I remember, I'll try to highlight the title of this one. And if I don't, like, leave me a comment. Be like, oh, hey, this is the video that you mentioned highlighting the title. Because it won't be for a few days that I upload this, and I might not know which session exactly it was. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying these videos tonight. I'm having a good time. And I will see you guys in the next part. I'm gonna go for a walk, get some fresh air, come back, and hopefully we'll finish up this evening session in, I don't know, whatever. We'll see in a little bit. Keep on grinding.